How many years of work experience do you have? None? You just graduated? That's not an excuse. Pedro's been ruling Brazil for 4 years since he was 6. He's a 10-year-old ruling an entire country, and you're a 25-year-old still living with your parents and watching cringe lords play video games. What's wrong with you? Don't you worry, I'm gonna fix you today, just like I'm gonna fix Brazil. We're gonna be taking all of South America very fast, and we're gonna be modernizing Brazil, making it into an actual proper economy. We have a few issues here as the Brazilians. The matter of slavery is one of them. Then we also have the Ragamuffin War, which historically lasted for a good few years, but we're gonna finish it super fast. So the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna be first off disbanding the third army we start with, which is gonna redistribute the units to the northern front. In the north, we will be pushing, advancing with our units. In the south, however, we're only gonna be defending for now, and we're gonna let the Republic of Rio Grande push into our soldiers. Economy-wise, we don't have much of that going on in Brazil, but we'll fix that situation, don't you worry. Right now, we've got a shortage of pretty much everything. What I'm going to do, however, is change to iron frame building production method, because we have 2 construction sectors and we can handle that for now. We're also going to switch the tooling workshop to rough iron tools, and as such, you probably can imagine we'll need a lot more iron. We're going to start building our iron mines. We don't have infrastructure though. That's another issue. So we have to build wherever we get some infrastructure. Right now, that's Mato Grosso and more or less Bahia. But we have pops in Minas Gerais. So what are we doing, Ludi? We're going to build in Minas Gerais. Hear me out. We can also just fix this by giving the road maintenance decree, which increases the infrastructure in Minas Gerais. Technology-wise, we're going to go for stock exchange, followed by lathes and atmospheric engine, water tube boilers, and intense agriculture. We need intense agriculture quite early on to do one of our journal entries as the Brazilians. We're going to do road maintenance in Bahia state as well to increase our infrastructure. We're also going to do promote social mobility in Rio de Janeiro and Minas Gerais, because that's where we have majority of our population right now. Switching over to the budget, we're also going to increase to very high military wages, because we do need our troops to get a little bit of that extra morale recovery. And we're also going to lower our government wages to very low for now. We're also going to be relying on imports for iron until we build more iron mines. And look at that, after unpausing, we got +4 infrastructure in Minas Gerais from the road maintenance decree. Similarly, +4 in Bahia, so we don't have any issues right now with infrastructure anymore. I'm gonna queue up another 2 iron mines in Bahia state as well. And seeing as we still somehow managed to get a little bit of extra authority, I'm gonna do a promote social mobility in Bahia state. In essence, these 4 big states by the coastline will be our primary states. Now, as Brazil, we have Brazilian as our primary culture, but we don't actually have that many Brazilians. Right now, we're divided. We have 500,000 Brazilians, but we got Nordestinos, Afro-Brazilians, Paulistas, Solistas, and so on. So in order to convert all these pops to Brazilian, we need to focus on integrating the Brazilian nation. There's different requirements for all of these, be it that we have to finish the civil war we have is for one of them, lower the devastation in the Amazon. Paulistas, we need to do the River of Coffee journal entry, for which we need to get the intensive agriculture. For the Nordestinos, we need to ban slavery. In fact, we have an entirely dedicated journal entry for banning slavery. We can selectively enforce the ban. Our government is made up of the intelligentsia. We're going to change that a little bit around. We're going to go for this particular makeup, a mixture of industrialists, petit bourgeoisie, landowners, and armed forces. And we're going to change a few legislations. We're going to attempt to get public schools. The sooner we get this, the faster we get to increase our literacy, which means we increase our innovation cap and we can catch up technologically wise to the other nations. Of course, we can also rely a little bit on more imports in the meanwhile till we get our own domestic production going of various goods. And for that matter, we would like to see a trade agreement with either the British, the Americans, the French. So I'm going to get some more declared interests now. One of them is going to be in the British Isles, another one in France. Oh no, -15 legitimacy for 9 years. It's truly amazing to live in Brazil, clearly. All right, we're definitely making leeway here. We're pushing into the Amazonas. All right, so we got our interest in Britain, and what we're going to do next is going to shock everybody. We're going to be liberating Cornwall. That's right. It is time for the Cornish people to be free. And the British declared rivalry. That is not intended. In any case, what we're really going to do here is we're going to back down, and the British added ban slavery as well as humiliate Brazil. It's a small price to pay, losing some leverage generation and prestige for the fact that we now have banned slavery cavalry in just a few months from the start of the campaign. And the result of that is that we now can start being friends with the British, and we also got the journal entry completely finished. We're gonna go for the second option to get the extra authority. It's almost as if Paradox wants you to not do that journal entry, because the AI pretty much always, if you attack them and you have slavery as one of your legislations, well, at least the free nations like Britain, France, US, and so on, if you attack them, they will ask first and foremost that you ban slavery. And this works for pretty much any nation, by the way. That means we now can also integrate the Nordestinos. If we go to our society, we right now have 700,000 Nordestinos. All these Nordestinos become Brazilian. Check it out. Going back here, we have 1.2 million Brazilians and no Nordestinos because they're not around anymore. Now, I know some of you thinking that's a cheese, but I'm gonna come back at you and say that, shut up, bro. Also, if Paradox is so concerned about it, why didn't they patch it? Explain that to me, buddy boy. Also, check it out. In the South, we are definitely okay now. I'm saying this because I've had people in my Discord come over and say how they were struggling to win the Civil War. I am honestly wondering how is that possible when it is the easiest thing. It's basically rigged for you to win the Civil War as the Brazilians. There you go. We got the northern parts under control. Unfortunately, they got basically 100 devastation now. So once the devastation reaches 5 or below, we can integrate the Amazonics as well and turn those cultures into Brazilian. Now, of course, we're going to be disbanding all of these units, including the 6 new units we got from the Amazon. And we're going to be pushing in with the secondary general because we've got 40 advantage and the rebels have no chance of winning against us. Now, we are getting a lot more money now than before, so it's time to expand a little bit. We're gonna get some more construction sectors in Rio de Janeiro, or should I say Rio de Janeiro? How do you say? I guess it's Rio de Janeiro in Portuguese, right? It's Joe over Rio. I got Rio Grande, not the Janeiro. I got the high ground. Okay, we can be a little bit more lenient with them, of course. They're still citizens of our empire. And speaking of, yes, we're technically an empire. Okay, we have an emperor. We have the magnanimous monarch, the 11-year-old, Skibidi Pedro. Also gonna start by incorporating Amazonas because that has to be incorporated. And now one issue we will have as the Brazilians is we don't actually own any sulfur mines. However, there is sulfur in South America in a few areas. We got sulfur in the south in Argentina. We also got sulfur in the north in Venezuela. So we have options, that's for sure. And now I'm not saying I'm a warmonger, but if you really want to play it well as Brazil, the reality is that attacking your neighbors earlier in the campaign is significantly easier than later, because the more you wait, the more likely the great powers will be inclined to join on the side of the other nations in South America, especially the US in this particular patch 1.85. So obviously I'm going to take advantage and attack the smallest and the weakest ones first, including Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentine Confederation, and then of course also march into Bolivia before they finish their Bolivian Confederation. Schnitzeldorf should be extremely easy to get these nations at the start of the campaign. It's quite literally 29 units against 4. There you go. I made Uruguay come to Brazil. Hey, everyone's gonna be coming to Brazil, okay? Trust me on that. The invasion of Uruguay has triggered a new national hero to appear, which will help us integrate the Sulista people. So that means we go back to our journal here and we can now integrate the Sulistas, which are basically the people, into the southern parts. Go back to the cultural map mode and you see here we can integrate everybody with the click of a button, refresh, and they've all become Brazilians. We're up to 1.4 million Brazilians now, actually. Hot diggity dog, we got public schools. It's Jover. We're gonna get the most educated people in the world. We're gonna get some bureaucracy so we advance this to level 2 as soon as possible. And I'm also gonna go for cultural exclusion, which is gonna accept more of my population as consequence. We're attacking Paraguay second because they also have an arms factory in the state of Alto Paraguay, which we're gonna really need in order to have enough weapons to invade the rest of South America. So there is some sort of strategy to what I'm doing here. It's not all chaos, okay? Brave Paraguayans. You know, it's actually kind of surprising, but historically Paraguay actually managed to hold their own against Brazil, Argentina, and basically everybody around them wanted to get a piece of Paraguay, and they did, but they still managed to hold on for a really long time, okay? We do have a glassworks now, so we can change over to market squares, which will start making this building a lot more productive, and because we got the technology, we can switch over to lathes and dye workshop. And now as Brazil, we can actually build dye plantations. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get one in Rio Grande do Sul, or better yet, Rio Grande do Sul, right? We're gonna queue this up at the top because it is really fast to build it. It's only 200 construction. Brave Paraguayans, you fought really well, GG's. That's what countries say amongst each other after they finish a war. They just say GG's. Now, of course, we're going to be incorporating both of these states. We're going to go back to medium military wages as well. Becoming a major power is required in order to get protectorates that are lower ranked than us. So that means we can make protectorates out of the Argentinians, out of Venezuelans, and so on. It's a little bit easier this way since it's less infamy, and it allows us to expand into all of South America because of said less infamy instead of just grabbing all the provinces directly from the start. So the first major war we're going to have is against Bolivia. The reason we're doing this is because if we don't take care of them earlier, they really can become a very dangerous threat to our society, and we don't want it to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few states around the Amazon, Acre and Pastaza, because that would allow us to border Ecuador afterwards for further expansion, and we're going to be turning them into a protectorate, which should prevent them from merging with the Peruvian states. We're clearly winning here. We got superior units, and more importantly, we got a lot more units, so that's kind of really the main reason we're winning here. We haven't even gotten any conscripts yet, so that's how powerful we are. And we have upgraded all of our units to line infantry. We'll do the same with the cuirassiers. Reality is I kind of feel like disbanding my cavalry units, but I'll do that later once I've gotten some actual cannon artillery, I guess. Plus, cav early on against AI is not too bad because it allows to capture territory a little bit faster. Oh, looks like our Amazonian areas have less than 5 devastation. How advanced can Brazil be, you ask? Well, check it out. We got cultural exclusion. That's right. That's somehow a lot better. Okay, this war has also been dragging on for so long. I just realized too that instead of infantry, I could have gotten artillery conscript. Yeah, that was not smart on my side at all. I could have made this war like 5 times shorter by getting artillery conscripts, couldn't I? In Brazil, we don't believe in actual war technology. We believe in throwing numbers at stuff, okay? That's how you fix things. Hey, speaking of fixing, we got atmospheric engine, so now we actually can start getting an economy, boys. That being said, we do need coal in order to make this economy work, and our coal producing areas don't have any population. So first off, I'm gonna go back and change all of this to pick and shovel, and then I'm only gonna slowly start turning some of these to atmospheric engine pumps. Maybe just leave the gold mines for now and import some coal, and then once we actually have coal mines, we switch the iron mines too to atmospheric engine pumps. And we went to drafting phase with dedicated police force. That's awesome. With the dissolution of the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, a nascent rival to Brazilian interest in the Andes has been defeated. Awesome. Question though, why do they call it the Andes? Is it because there's a lot of dudes called Andy in that area, or am I being a dum-dum just for saying that? Don't answer that, by the way. Nobody answer that. And look at this. Way better borders now. Way better. Next war is going to be against both Argentina and Chile. We're going to make both of them our protectorates. I actually attacked Chile first because for some freaking reason, Argentina has a proclaimed guarantee from Russia out of all nations. I don't know why. It's weird, but if I attack Argentina, Russia's going to join on their side. So me attacking Chile means that their Argentinian allies are going to join on their side, but the nation that guarantees Argentina cannot help them. So because of that, we can get both nations without having to fight a superpower in the process. And we also used our brain this time, and we got artillery conscripts instead of freaking line conscripts, because come on, really? We out here being smarts and stuff, guys. We out here being smarts, clearly. The second time was smarts. The first time, not so much, but we learn, we adapt, we improvise. We really got to push into Chile fast. If Argentina capitulates, then, okay, never mind. I was going to say that if we capitulate Argentina, we have to navally invade Chile, but we already got the northern part of Chile, so it's basically just Jover. We got about the entirety of South America now. It is actually wild. In 5 years from the start of the campaign, we pretty much got most of South America. We just got to attack 3 more nations in the north, and that's it. One thing to note, okay, they backed down, not surprised. One thing to note is that we don't have an actual border with Venezuela because the province of Bolivar is impassable. So that means if we attack Venezuela, we have to do a naval invasion, which means it's better to just attack New Granada first and then push into Venezuela from there, I guess. Or just do the naval invasion. Either way works. I'm going to change my promote social mobility decrease to greener grass campaigns now, since we start having a bit of a better economy. We're building more construction sectors too, but we do lack population. We only have 200,000 peasants, give or take, so we need to start getting a lot more pops now. So best way to do it as Brazil is to make everybody come to us. We're going to be using obligations to get a trade agreement with the Americans. That's going to allow us to start exporting everything we have excess of, and we have quite a few excesses, including coffee, fruits, cloth, and even a little bit of dyes and wood, and also import what we're lacking in bigger amounts, starting with the grain and everything else. Remember, it doesn't cost any bureaucracy trading with nations you have a trade agreement with, so it's always amazing to make the most out of these deals. Look at that, we get 50 iron we can import from the Americans now. That is huge. Clothes as well, we can get a lot of them. Even furniture, more or less. In America's homebrewed oil, of course, wouldn't be an American trade deal if it didn't include oil, would it now? And seeing as we did get intensive agriculture, we now have to do the River of Coffee journal entry. For this, we have to basically build more plantations, and we need to increase the buy order of coffee within our market by 150%, which is huge. So that's going to come in time. We need to get a bit more pops in the meanwhile, and we're going to be chilling for a tiny bit of time just so we can actually get all of our subjects more loyal, and we're going to be attacking Grenada, Venezuela later down the line once we're confident that we don't have issues with our current subject breaking free. We're slowly also increasing the amount of construction sectors as our economy continues to improve itself. Hey, we got free trade, boyos. That means we can trade way more than we ever could before. We also get trade route competitiveness, and most importantly too, our trade centers now have privately owned, so we get capitalists as a production method for the trade centers rather than the shopkeepers that we were getting from having mercantilism. That is a big one. Getting elected bureaucrats also means we're gonna have way more bureaucracy that we can use afterwards. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I thought this was South America. You know what? I think I realized what's happening. South Africa, South America, it both has South in it. That's why I mistakenly invaded South Africa. I'm so sorry, guys. And it looks like we have a proto-World War I in Europe. The Ottomans are fighting against the Egyptians again. US wants a defense pact. Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll be your best friend in the new world. You can have North America, I can have South America. Does that sound US? Splitting the world like best buddies. Hey, Argentina backed down, which means they have become a puppet now. It's funny, but just within a few years, we managed to go from having extremely disloyal subjects to super loyal subjects. Everybody is getting a little bit of reduction weekly. Chile is getting 0.07 as well, but they're on low liberty, so we can genuinely just click this button and turn them into a puppet for free. Boom, we can do that now, and we can use the rest of the infamy that we have to make Bolivia and Ecuador as well puppets. Oh snaps, we got Australians mass migrating to our lands. Oh, that's so cool. That's the first mass migration from the British market. You know what? I know it's gonna piss off the upper strata in Brazil, but I'm gonna give Australians a little bit of extra acceptance. Maybe that way we encourage more Australians to start migrating to our lands. Another great part about having my subjects turned into puppets is that they're gonna be helping me out in my wars now, and I'm defending in the north just to grind down the Peruvian and the Bolivian troops before I push in with the main army. I'm also in the process of conscripting those mobile artillery boyos. And would you look at that, we can integrate the Paulistas now, meaning we got even more Brazilians, and we finished the journal entry integration of the Brazilian nation. So for 9 years we get the assimilation, migration attraction, and prestige bonus. And I'm still defending here, waiting for them to grind their troops. They are really aggressive. They're pushing like crazy, actually. Also, I'm gonna start now privatizing some of my buildings. Not necessarily all of them, but at least the urban buildings we can start privatizing to increase the amount of funds we have, and that way we can scale up our construction sectors too. And I've got enough support for laissez-faire, so I'm gonna attempt to get laissez-faire done. Let's see. Apparently our landowner also is a market liberal, so we should really have no issues in passing this. Oh my god, hold up a second. We seem to have gotten a bit way too many funds. Maybe I need to stop privatizing stuff, because I'm gonna be wasting money if I keep privatizing. That is crazy. We literally just sold a few buildings and we already went up to the max cash reserves. Armenian mass migration. Okay. I'm wondering what's happening in the Ottoman Empire that Armenians have to flee. And there you have it. Bolivia is now also a puppet, which automatically means that Peru is now our protectorate. It got transferred from the Bolivians to us. Unsurprisingly, Ecuador backed down again. So, yeah, this is what we're looking like now. We're getting 16,000 just from the diplomatic pacts. I'm gonna cancel the attack on liquor. Instead, I'm gonna do attack on tobacco, which is 6,000 compared to the liquor, which is only, what was it, like 1,200. We were basically just losing money for no reason right there. And it's also time to switch to the steel tools, because we do have 2 steel mills that we built exactly for this occasion, so we can switch that production method there. We're also going to be expanding the amount of universities we've got. We want to do that both for qualifications, which is why we're building them primarily in our main industrial hubs, but also because we need to increase our innovation generation. Isn't it a lot more prettier when Brazil and everybody around has the exact same color? I think it is, personally. We're also going to go to very low taxation because we can economically sustain that, and because we want to start attracting more and more pops to our country. Everybody's going to be coming to Brazil before Brazil comes to them. And we're also going to get better relations with the Americans. We grant them power block access, embassy, and foreign investment rights so they can start building up in our country too. Mass migration of French. What? Okay, that ruins everything, because I was literally about to say I'm tired of waiting for people to come to Brazil. Instead, I'm gonna go to them, okay? So Brazil is coming to Luca. I'm the biggest scumbag. I'm basically preventing Italy from forming. The reason Croatians mass migrating to, oh my god, we are literally a paradise. Or maybe the Ottoman Empire is not the greatest place. I'm a little bit shaky, not sure which one of those it is. I really don't want Italy to form. I also want continuous warfare in Europe. That's why I'm gonna start sniping around areas here, because less united Europe and more disaster Europe means more migrants to Brazil. I mean, look at that. Our population is growing insanely fast now, and our subjects almost completely encompass the southern tips of South America, so it actually looks beautiful now and not just cringe snaps. Hey, Brazilian Emilia, historical lands of the Brazilian people. We're just taking back what's ours. Hey, they even have a university here. Time to establish a new power block in the world, the South American block. We got plantations, we got carnivals. Why would people not come to Brazil? Am I right? Oh my god, just as I established the carnival power block, everybody all of a sudden decided they want to move to Rio de Janeiro. Why? For those big gold mines. We got more gold mines, guys. Yay. Let's build up all these gold mines, shall we? Well, you know what? Technically, my subjects can build the gold mines themselves. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting some more grain, because honestly, right now, the biggest issue I have is really just grain. I'm importing as much as I possibly can, but it's still not enough. Let's let it happen, boys. Basically, the motto of laissez-faire. Oh, we have a unique Brazilian company, the Klabin Irmãos and Cia. Okay, let's go for that, actually. I like a little bit of unique immersion. This company is also pretty badass. 15 max infrastructure from population and tooling workshop is literally what we need as Brazil. So it goes to show that the developers knew exactly what you need from your company, basically. This infrastructure is still a pretty significant issue for us. Circassians migrating too. Hell yeah, I like that. I like to see a lot of migrants here. We're getting so much pops now that we really can start snowballing our economy a lot faster. Hey guys, we're voting for a new voting type. Get it? It's stupid. Yeah, that's right. It's a stupid joke. Why are you even watching these videos? I make only dumb jokes, really. Something's wrong with you. Okay, yeah, we're stockpiling gold. It's Jover. We need to actually use our construction sectors. Let's see where we have most pops, and we're gonna need to spam a lot more construction sectors now. If we manage to pass public health insurance, we're gonna be able to get to 13, 14 standard of living by the 1860s, which means we're gonna get insane amounts of pops coming over to our country. Wait, why is France this color? Who is this guy? President Leon Legut? What the hell does that mean? They're a presidential republic with wealth voting. Okay. North Germans arriving? Oh, is that because we have Argentinian lands? Dude, this is passing. This is actually insane. We went from referral to voting phase on 16% without any issues. That is actually crazy, boys. Brazil run is clearly a blessed run, boyos. Clearly blessed. And we also need more and more and more construction sectors. A lot more, actually. A ton. Mom, please kick these African... Oh, wait. What am I doing in South Africa? Oh, look, guys. Totally not changing subject. We got South Germans migrating. That's awesome. That's amazing. We got all the Germans migrating now. So let's move to the other side of the map for a second, shall we? Oh, God, this is actually passing really fast. I mean, I'm not complaining, but the thing is, because it's passing so fast, I'm going to end up with like minus 200 bureaucracy or something, which is not good. We need to start queuing up government administration buildings a little bit faster, and we need a lot more of them actually too. You know what else we need a lot more of? Population. Yeah, that's right. We need a lot more population. We're growing at such a freaking insane rate that we really just need a lot more population. That's pretty much the gist of it. You know what? I'm gonna even cancel the tobacco tax. We don't need that. We got way too much money as well. Exactly what I was saying. This passed really fast, so now we have to deal with 13.9% tax waste. But we do want to get level 4 for health systems, so after we do the next 2 government administrations, we're gonna have a couple of iron mines done, and then after that we're gonna go back to getting more government administration. It's literally just a mixture of coal, iron, and government administration buildings. That's pretty much all we're building right now. And look, another unique Brazilian company, the Fundição Ipanema. So we get munition plant, arms industry throughput, as well as we get bonuses for steel mills and iron mines. I love these. I have to say, Brazil has some of my favorite companies I've seen so far. Even more South Germans migrating. Oh, these are from the Prussian part. What's happening in Prussia then? Oh, Prussia is in a war. I'm guessing this is the unification war. Yes. Sorry about that. I've been watching some Star Wars interviews. Now, we also managed to get up to almost 12 standard of living, and it's keep on growing. It's crazy that we started as, you know, Brazil, and we ended up being actually one of the better nations out here. If you want to get the save for yourself, you'll find it on my Patreon, or if you become a channel member. And if you want to see this continued, let me know in the comment section. If we get like 3,000-4,000 likes, I'll consider continuing this campaign. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.